in English and Urdu language. I invite him to share his insights on Islam.
अभी इस्लाम धर्म के बारे में मिस्टर ज़ैद पटेल जी हमें जानकारी देंगे। सन 1998 से मिस्टर ज़ैद पटेल जी इस्लाम धर्म के प्रवचनकार हैं। वे इस्लामिक इंफॉर्मेशन सेंटर के प्रेसिडेंट हैं। उन्होंने 1000 से ज़्यादा टॉपिक पर इस्लाम धर्म का प्रवचन दिया है। अभी मैं मिस्टर ज़ैद पटेल जी से स्टेज पर आने के लिए निवेदन करती हूँ।
Respected principal, speakers from different religions, parents, teachers, and my dear students. I welcome all of you with the greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. May peace, mercy and blessings of Almighty Allah be on all of you. I welcome the initiative by the school to organize an intercommunal, interreligious discussion on the subject of peace and harmony. Dear brothers and sisters, I personally have been feeling this, and this is my belief, that all of mankind, all of us, whether a person is a Hindu, he's a Christian, he's a Muslim, all of us have the same creator. We don't have different gods, that the Muslims have a different god, the Hindus have a different god, the Christians have a different god. We all are products and creation of the same creator. And since we are creation of the same creator, discussions and understanding is very important. When people don't talk, this leads to misunderstandings, it leads to harm, to disruptions. People start imagining things about others. But when we sit and talk, so it's possible to share thoughts, mutual understanding, and I welcome the initiative. I also hope that representatives from other schools can possibly copy something similar. The subject is acquiring peace and harmony, and how to get peace and harmony in society. Dear brothers and sisters, it's very important that to get peace and harmony, we have to do it for the sake of the Creator. I'll give you an example. We know that elections are nearby, and now in these days we find politicians, they come out who were not seen for many years. They're out and they meet and they start doing good things. They start doing good things. Another example, a businessman, now he has customers who come to him, and customers, you know, at times they are trying, they have testing attitudes. But the businessman is very patient with his customer. He is very tolerant. He'll be smiling, he'll be answering nicely. Similarly, we find a person who's working in a company, he has a boss. At times it happens that the boss is in a bad mood. He has fought with his wife possibly. And even if he says, go get out, so the employee will say, yes sir, very nice, very good behavior. So now we find that the politicians have good behavior, we find that that businessman has good behavior, we find that that employee has good behavior. But why is it so? Why do they do that? They do it for money, they do it for votes, they do it for personal benefits. Here we are talking about doing good for God, doing good for our Creator. It's given in the Quran in chapter 16 verse 18. وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. If you were to count the favors of God, of Allah, you cannot even number them. Your numbers will end, your numbers have limitations, but God's favors are unlimited. There are so many favors we don't even know. When the ozone layer starts depleting, we realize there was an ozone layer. So many people, they miss something, when they lose something, then they realize what was the value of that thing. So my dear brothers and sisters, what's very important for all of us is to realize something before we lose it, and to be grateful to the favors of God, and to be peaceful, harmonious for the sake of God Almighty. And dear brothers and sisters, all of us, we are creations of that same one God. I'll give you an example. Suppose there is a car, and the car has two drivers. One driver pulls from the right, second driver pulls from the left. One presses the accelerator, second presses the brake. Surely such a car can't move. Imagine if this whole universe had more than one creators, had more than one controllers. what kind of chaos and confusion will happen? It's given in the Quran in chapter 2 verse 21. In chapter 21 verse 22. لَوْ كَانَ فِيهِمَا آلِهَةٌ إِلَّا اللَّهُ لَفَسَدَتَا. If there were in the heavens and the earth gods other than the one true God, then there would have been chaos and confusion. And really, everything that we have, we are not the real owners. The real owner is God. If we were the real owners, when we go from the world, we would have taken everything and gone. That okay, so and so he used to stay here, his car used to be parked over here, now he has died, his car is also gone, his bank balance is also empty. No. So we know that all things that we do and we have and things for which people fight, all of these things are not really ours. We have been given for the time being to test us. Dear brothers and sisters, everything is in the hands of God alone. He is the one who gives us trials and tests to see which one of us does good deeds. He is the one who gives us good times also. He is the one who gives us sickness. He is the one who gives us cure. You know, doctors say that, see, we have lost hope now. When they lose hope, they say this. They say, now we have lost hope. Now you ask God. Only He can help you now. Is this right or wrong? Is this right or wrong? Huh? Apparently, it may look right, but if you think of it and look at it more closely, there's something wrong in it. Do you know what's wrong? It's as if that the doctor is saying that earlier we were curing you, now we have lost hope, so now you ask God. But the reality is, it is God who is fully in control of everything. There are so many people who have so many medicines and yet no cure inside. And so many people without medicines also they are cured. So we know that in reality it is God who gives us life, who gives us death. Everything is in His hands alone. And we have to strive for peace and harmony for His sake. For His sake. And when the person does it for His sake, do you know many people they say, जैसे मैंने बहुत अच्छा करके देखा, कुछ फायदा नहीं होता. बहुत अच्छे काम करके देखे, कुछ फायदा नहीं होता. So many people, they say मैं बहुत अच्छा काम करता था पहले. I used to do good things earlier. But then I saw कि कुछ फायदा ही नहीं है. क्या फायदा? So then they say I stopped doing good things. But this is what will happen when we do it for people. When we do it for people, this is what will happen. See, you know, people are people, look at them. We get crores and crores of favors of God, and a person gets food 364 days. But if he doesn't get one day, he will say, God has not given me anything. So people are ungrateful to God Almighty. How can they be grateful to us? If we do good things expecting from people, so surely we'll also end up saying one fine day, कि मैं कर रहा था अच्छा एक पहले, then I stopped doing कि कुछ फायदा नहीं. Because if we expect from people, this is what's going to happen. But reality is we have to do good things for the sake of God. We have to strive for peace and harmony for God's sake. And when we do that, then that person can be lasting on good deeds. He can be doing good deeds for a long time. And this is very important. That we have our connection. And you know, people today, they are forgetting God Almighty. We need to have our connection with God Almighty. That He is the one who controls everything. And when He controls everything, then all our worship, whether be it of the heart, whether be it of the tongue, whether be it of the hands, whether be it of the body, should be for God. When He is the creator, when He is the controller, when He is the one who gives us good, who tests us with trials and difficulties, He is the one who gives us life and death, sickness and cure, then surely worship should be for Him. I'll give you an example. See, let's imagine there's a person who's working in a company where he has one boss. And the boss tells him, do this, he says yes. Do that, yes. Now there's another person in comparison who has 10 bosses, 10. One says do this, second says do that, third says do this, fourth says do that. Now he has to listen to 10 people, he has to make them happy. Tell me, out of these two, which one will have peace of mind? Which one will have peace of mind? The one who has one boss or the one who has 10 bosses? It's not so difficult, yes?
One boss.
A few people feel one boss. Others? One boss or 10 bosses?
One.
Now imagine. See, you know what? People say that I have to do good things. But they are thinking, what will so-and-so think? What will so-and-so think? If they surrender all of this and they think about one, what will God have about me? What will be my regard before God? If we do good for God, so then it's so easy. Now people take tension of 10 that I have to please Him, I have to please Him, please Him, please Him. So we need to know that God is perfect. And when He is perfect, He is also perfectly close to us. It's given in the Quran in chapter 50 verse 16, He is closer to you than your jugular vein. So close to us. And it's given in the Quran that He says, Uduni astajib lakum, ask me, I will answer your prayer. So my dear brothers and sisters, it's our relationship with God. It's that connection which we need to have. And dear brothers and sisters, we find in the world today where this connection has broken down, where people have lost contact with God Almighty, where they have started dedicating things for others and others are most important for them. So that's where things have gone wrong. All our acts of worship should be for one God. In Arabic we call Him Allah, but it is the one God of all of mankind that whom we are talking about. The basic kalima of Islam is La ilaha illallah. There is none worthy of worship except the one true God. So now dear brothers and sisters, this is the basis. And we need to know that these kind of discussions should go on in the light of the original scriptures. We should refer back to what do the original scriptures teach and understand each other better. See, one thing is for sure, I'll tell you. Suppose one person says that 2 plus 2 is 4. The second one says 2 plus 2 is 5. And the third one says 2 plus 2 is 6. So someone comes and says, you also correct, you also correct, you also correct. We all are one. Now this is not unity. Real unity says is that we have to be sincere. But we have to be tolerant. We have to be kind to each other. Just because somebody is making a mistake, that doesn't mean that we have to go about and be harsh to him. So now this is very important that we should share. And of course, everyone has the right to disagree. Everyone has got a free will from God Almighty. My dear brothers and sisters, the Quran says that God sent messengers and prophets before for mankind right from Adam, continuous series of messengers. Islam was not founded by Prophet Muhammad. He is the last and final messenger. There were many messengers before him. 25 are mentioned by name in the Quran, and it's given وَلِكُلِّ قَوْمٍ هَادٍ. Every nation was sent guides. So now it's very important that we have to go back to divine revelation. And it's very important to avoid misunderstandings by going to the original source. Why I mention this? Because the Quran is a book which actually teaches peace and kindness and understanding. And unfortunately today, due to misrepresentation, largely by some people, by the media, people have a lot of misunderstandings. The Quran says in chapter 5 verse 32, مَنْ قَتَلَ نَفْسًا بِغَيْرِ نَفْسٍ أَوْ فَسَادٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ فَكَأَنَّمَا قَتَلَ النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. If a person kills a person, an innocent person, it's as if he has killed all of mankind. وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. And whoever saves a single life, it is as if he has saved all of mankind. So we all of mankind, it's not given a Muslim life or a non-Muslim life or a Christian life or a Hindu life, any life. Any life is so precious. So now with all this and with the basic introduction that we had today, I'll end with a verse from the Quran, chapter 2 verse 256, where Allah says, La ikraha fi deen. There is no compulsion in religion. Qad tabayyana rushdu min al-ghayy. The truth is clear from falsehood. I pray to God that may He guide all of us to always in our entire lives seek the truth and have the ability and the strength to follow it. Jazakallah.